Hey everyone, it's Mike Valtos and welcome to the Orderflows market analysis for Friday, August 18, 2017. This is part 2. I did one earlier with the first couple hours, say up until about 9 a.m. Chicago time, but then honestly, there's a lot of activity in the market in this, after 9 a.m. There's shakeup in Trump's advisors and, Steve Bannon leaving. Me personally, I think it's a good thing in the sense that I think he'll be able to do more outside of the White House than inside. But for all the volatility this week, Dow ended up down not even 1% for the week. Gold was a little bit lower, is down I think for the week to around 1292. Bonds ended up little changed. So it's a nice ending to the week, actually, not as negative as everybody thought. Hey everyone, it's Mike Valtos and welcome to the Orderflows market analysis for August 18, 2017, Friday. This is part 2 of my analysis. I did one earlier up until about 9 a.m. in the morning. This will cover the second part of trading, basically from 9 a.m. onwards. It's quite an interesting day. Bannon left Trump's advisors, and markets rallied on it. They later sold off, but for all the volatility this week, the Dow is only down not even 1%, so not much. Now I'm earlier this week you're reading, oh, the market's going to crash, now I'm reading on Bloomberg, oh, the market's a great buying opportunity. It just kills me. These writers, they spend more time writing than they do trading. But anyway, that said, jump into it. Brief disclaimer: this presentation is for educational and informational purposes only. Should not be considered a solicitation to buy or sell a futures contract or make any other type of investment decision. Futures trading contains substantial risk and is not for every investor. An investor could potentially lose all or more than the initial investment. Risk capital is money that can be lost without jeopardizing one's financial security or lifestyle. Only risk capital should be used for trading, and only those with sufficient risk capital should consider trading. Past performance is not necessarily indicative of future results. Tools I use in this presentation are the Orderflows Trader software and the Delta Scalper. The Orderflows Trader is a volume footprint chart, and the Delta Scalper is an additional tool that we use to help read the order flow. Okay, so after I did the video this morning, I didn't look at the 10 range chart, but there was some very interesting things developing on the 10 range S&P chart that literally, like, after I recorded the video, uploaded it, I took a look back, and just around 9 o'clock, the interesting things started happening. So what am I talking about, the interesting things? Okay, here we are. Let me just make it so you can see the chart. So what do we have? We got 9 o'clock, 9:01. You have the low being made here at 24.19.5. You got a divergence. You got a small positive delta. It's 24. It's positive. That's what's giving you the divergence. Next bar, you've got the Delta Scalper, but more importantly, you got a bullish ratio indicating price rejection down here. So again, the first video I showed you on a 4-range chart, ratio divergence. I showed you on a bond, a ratio divergence. This one happened, as I was recording the video. Maybe I should have looked at it, but you know what, I didn't. But anyway, I'm showing it to you now. You've got this ratio and divergence forming here, Delta Scalper as well, and you got a decent buying opportunity around the 4.5 area, 24.5 area. Did you get a 5-point rally, anything big like that? No, it got up to 7.5, more or less 8, I think it was, or 7 3/4, but mostly just kind of went sideways. Did came back into this area where the Delta Scalper kicked off earlier. Then it just sort of went sideways some more, came back down to 20.25, or sorry, so it was at 20.5 right here. But then this is where things got very interesting. Again, this is why if you're not using order flow, I'm not saying you got to be using my chart. There's a lot of software out there. Personally, I prefer my charts because that's what I've been looking at for how many years. But again, you could see this on a normal footprint chart. This bar right here, look at this delta, 13,000. That's massive. Okay, you have to understand what is massive delta, what is average delta. 4,000 is above average, but something around here, 2,997, 3,662. These are about your average on a 10 range chart. But when you get above 10,000, it's just like lights out. Buy it, or if it was a negative 13,000, you'd be selling it. In this case, you're buying it because it's just dominated by aggressive buying. Yes, you have sellers in here. Yes, you do, right? Because you're not going to have a buyer without a seller. But the aggressive buyers are overrunning the sellers. People are coming in here selling the fuck out of it. 13,000 on the offer side, but it's being scooped up by aggressive buyers. Okay? That's very important information. Again, if you're using a footprint chart, you'll see that. And again, if you don't know to look for it, then that's your problem, I guess. I mean, I talk about them in these videos. You should be keeping a notebook, take notes of things I say, things to look for. But that's like lights out. Just buy it, and go for an immediate 5 points and on a 10 range chart. So if you're buying it here around what, I don't know what this is, 28, around here, 24, 28, 5 points would be like 33. What do? You shoot all the way up immediately up to 35 and a half. A little bit later, you just, you come back in down to around 30 before you go all the way up to 39 and a half. Now, I'm not saying you'd be selling it up here at 38, for 10 points. For me, 5 points is good enough on this, on a 10 range chart, on a massive, delta number like this, 13,000. But as soon as it hits 10,000, it's time to buy. You don't need to wait for this bar to close above 10,000. Intra bar, if it gets above 10,000, for me, that's the sign already. But so you had a couple of decent trading opportunities. I mean, yeah, you had a very big volatile day. Yes, there are other opportunities which I'll talk about later. But the most obvious ones, again, this doesn't take knowing advanced mathematics or anything. It's just understanding the order flow. That's it, right? You can see, okay, you got your divergence right here, positive delta on the low, this green arrow, and you got your ratio afterwards. That's a buy. You just buy those, okay? Or if it's at a high, you sell those. And when you got the delta scalper coming in off the low, you buy those. I mean, it's not, don't make things more complicated. Then you get another opportunity right here, to be buying it off of this very strong delta. And it put in a nice rally all the way up to 39 and a half. We did come off later. Where did we settle? I think it was around 25 or so, 24, 25 in here. But okay, now the other thing, this one here. Okay, so here, right, I talk about being above a certain amount, right? 10,000 here. You've got minus 11,000, right? It sells at minus 9,000, but as soon as it's minus 10,000 rather, you don't need to wait for it to settle. You could get short. Can you get short? Yeah, if you got short somewhere in this bar, 29, it's earlier enough into the close. Like this bar here is right going into the close. It's not uncommon to see a lot of volume going through. The most liquid time of the day, the most volume you're going to get is the cash close. Okay, that's why you see these bars right ahead of cash close. You see minus 14,000. Even this one got down to minus 19,000. I'm very curious to see how this market's going to open up on Sunday night. Who knows what crazy shit's going to happen over the weekend. But I'm interested, interested participant to see how it opens on Sunday night. But again, if you're selling it, okay, don't get too excited because it's you got massive delta on cash close. This one, it's 30 minutes for the cash close. More or less 20 minutes, 30 minutes. It's safe. It's safe. I mean, I do know that, these people that have massive orders to be executed on the cash close, sometimes they will start them early. I know that for a fact. But even if you sold this one, it did rally up before it sold off. So you still could have got, a few points here just off the delta alone by itself. Okay, so let's take a look at the British pound this time. This is the British pound. And just sort of walk you through it a little bit since 2 in the morning. I didn't cover this one in the first video, but so I'll go back to around 3 in the morning. So okay, so you got a nice little rally going up here. You got delta scalper giving you a buy. You go and sell. You go all the way, rally up into new highs. You got a divergence, no ratio. Then right off the high, look at this delta, minus 1,200. It's your strongest negative delta of the morning. Delta scalper is giving you a sell as well, so it's telling you, this move up is getting a little bit weaker. 300, 200, minus 70, minus 1,200. It's lights out. Gives you the sell. Does pull back a little bit before it sells off. Again, it's a delta scalper sell right off a high, which is a very strong signal. I believe my own personal experience has been that. We sell off. You get a delta scalper buy. This one fails. Then you get another delta scalper buy right here at 7:20 in the morning. 7:20. 7-ish. You shoot up a little bit, you come up here to a bearish ratio, make this new high, then you got a delta scalper sell. So I mean, look at this, you've gone from, you know, the delta scalper buy, you rally up here, you get a delta scalper sell, you sell off, you get a buy, this one fails, then you get another buy, it's a small rally, then you get a delta scalper sell right here. What happens, you know, you're talking around the 129, 128.98, 129 even area, and you sell off down into new lows, new lows, new lows, new lows, new lows, new lows. Now you had a stacked imbalance here, comes back, comes right on the heels of the selling imbalance, but you got stacked buying imbalance here. I was hoping to get a little bit more of a movement here. It just didn't happen. It just failed on you. Then a little bit later, you know, you got your divergence, no ratio. It's close though. It's 0.74. I use 0.699, so it's just borderline at best. Then, you know, you start rallying up. You get another stacked imbalance here. This time, this one holds a bit better, and you rally up into the close. So, you know, just using the delta scalper by itself on this British pound, you know, gave you some very nice trades. It had one loser, I think it was, but you know, other than that, you know, it had some nice results. This is how it looks on a bar chart here. Just, you know, I mean, look at that. You got buy, sell, buy that fails, another buy that works, a nice sell right here. You know, that's 50 points in the British pound right there. Here's the obligatory beautiful chart in the delta scalper. This is on the 5 years. You're getting some buys here early in the morning, around 9 o'clock, getting a nice sell right up here, right off the high again. You know, 118.21. You know, all the way down to 18 before you get that buy that fails on you. Get another little buy here. This one just sort of peters out going into the close for the day. Okay, give me a sec. Okay, here's another this is Japanese yen delta scalper under the decent charts category. You got a little sell here, yeah, but then you got a nice buy here. Debating if it would have stopped me out before this big move. I think it would have, honestly. This little buy, it shoots up over the next couple bars and just sort of goes nowhere. This one here fails. That just failed. Then you get this decent sell here, get a little buy here going. That's the sell, that's the buy. Then later in the day you get this nice buy from 45 all the way up to 70. So, you know, you suffered a couple losing trades, but, you know, the winners take care of themselves, right? And that's what you want to happen. Okay, so to follow up on the bonds, remember I showed you earlier this ratio and divergence here on the low, rallied up to the highs. Later we made new highs, and we got the delta scalper coming up into this high here. And then delta scalper here that failed. Another buy here. Got a nice delta scalper sell here at 1040. You know, getting short around the 156 even area. Sells off down to the 24s, even lower into the new lows. You hit these lows, what do you got again? You got a divergence and a ratio. You got a single print, it's less volume the second time. First time's 37, second time is just 1. You know, that's a sign of price rejection here. Price rejection here. But, you know, if you're buying it, you know, at 20 and you're holding it till the close, you're nicely rewarded. You all the way up to 25, 26. Actually got up to 28, but really you probably would have been, you know, buying it somewhere around the 20 area, looking to get out maybe around 1 o'clock. I'd imagine somewhere around the 24, 25 area. Okay, so this is Japanese yen. A beautiful thing here in the delta this morning. This is around 10 in the morning. So, you know, you've got this little bit of a rally going, I guess you'd call it a rally from 91.96 all the way up to 92.14 up here. But, you know, watch this delta, right? 186, 142, 10, negative bar, red candle, negative 25, negative 62. So, you know, this 5-bar structure right here, 186, 142, 10, and the bar turns red. Then red and a negative delta and a negative delta. That's a sign to you. You know, that's a sign that the aggressive buying is drying up, aggressive selling is starting to take over. Say you're not convinced yet after negative delta 62, then you got negative 83, negative 110. And even if you're selling down here, it's a bit late, but still, there's still enough of this move left for you to be getting short at, 91, 96, 91, 95, that area, all the way down into the 80s, even lower down into the 70s here. Then you get another delta scalper sell here. Again, what's this price? 91.72, that area. What happens is it trades all the way down into the 50s. You got delta scalper buy. What happens? The market rallies back up from 58 all the way up into the mid 60s. Then you get what is this? Delta surge actually right here. You get the delta surge. You start seeing some more imbalances, stacked imbalances here. 1, 2. And the market keeps selling off. You get down here. I remember this first time I saw this this imbalance on the low here and all these buying imbalances. I thought this market could rally off that. Unfortunately, it just had to put in a new low. It had to go 3 ticks lower down here at 35.5 before it got the rally. But I was looking for the rally to start coming in somewhere down here. I didn't expect the new low, but even on this new low, you see some trap traders down there as well. And you get a nice little bounce up here almost immediately from the low up all the way up to the mid 50s. You circle around, start going sideways. Delta scalper gives you another buy here around the 40 area, and the market just shoots up from there. But I was really looking for this rally to happen right in here, right off of this bar. It took one more bar to form a new low by 3 ticks before you got the rally. But to me, this bar was very bullish. I said, but it just had a little bit more selling left in it before it turned around and rallied. Now you'll notice on this low you have a delta of 0. That's just coincidence. It's nothing more than sheer luck that it ended up on 0. So don't think it's at 0. That must mean something. No, in all my studies, all it means is it's just coincidence that it ended up delta of 0. I mean, zeros do happen in delta, but kind of rarely. Here's 1, here's 2. It's just coincidence. Nothing more, nothing less. Don't try to read too much into it. But then again, from 12.18, you got this nice rally from the 42 area, like I said, 42, 43, all the way up into the 60s and even higher. Where you got this delta scalper sell right before the close, and it just sort of drifts lower. But there was some, again, decent movements to be had. But watch that delta there. Where was it here? 10 something here. Forgot. This one right here. This swing high here was very easy to tell by watching the delta. Stronger than strong, then weaker, strong, then weak, then negative, and we just sold off quite nicely from this little swing high right there. I mean, that's the beauty of order flows. You could watch the delta. You could see this developing. I mean, most of the time, right, the numbers are just going to be, your average numbers. But sometimes, it just follows the script, so to speak, to the letter, to the number, and it just sells off, or it will rally. Okay, just to follow up on one or two of the charts from the first video. So this is the 987 tick chart. Let's take a look how it looks after 9 o'clock. I showed it to you early in the morning, and you got to sell here, a buy here, a sell here, a sell here, a buy here. Then it was 9 o'clock. You had a sell here, a buy. This is where it was, where I finished the video. But again, I want you to see the whole day. I don't want people saying, well, Mike only showed this part here. You didn't show the rest because it sucks. But if it sucks, I still want to show it to you. But does it suck? I don't think so. Look at this. You get a nice little sell here, nice little buy here, not much. Nice little sell here. Then you get a beautiful buy here at 1020, 1022. Again, it's around the 24-27 area. You shoot up almost immediately up into the mid 30s, come off a bit, all the way up to your highs eventually, where you get your sell 10 points later. So you're getting a buy signal here. Your next sell signal is 10 points higher. And you're getting short back up here at 37, and you're covering it back down here, maybe 31. These two you struggle, 1, 2, 3 trades you struggle with, but then you get a nice short here at 30. and what happens? It sells all the way off down to 25. So, there were a lot of points on the table in the S&Ps yesterday. So, I mean, honestly, I think that no matter what method of trading you're using, you should have been able to get something. If you struggled yesterday, you should reassess your trading methods, honestly. But there's enough money on the table for everybody to get something out of the market yesterday. I'm not saying you would have got 20 points, but you could have at least gotten 10 points easily. I showed you on the footprint chart. I'm showing you on the Delta Scalper. I mean, there's opportunities left and right there. Okay, so I'll end the video for now. This is to learn more about order flow trading, go to my website, orderflows.com. Subscribe to my YouTube channel. I'm trying to put out a video a day at least, time permitting. And to learn more about the Delta Scalper, go to deltascalper.com. So a lot of good information on my website and my YouTube channel. So be sure to subscribe. Click the button down there. Click the bell if you want to be notified when I post a new video. So thanks everyone. Bye bye.